What is going on, kings and queens of this wonderful wonderland that we call YouTube? Believe it or not, we have made it to episode 5 of this mini series, which, as you can probably make out by now, is all about none other than the Nintendo 64. Now, just like the last episode, which revolved around the Genesis, this episode is very special to me for two main reasons. First off, I think a lot of you would agree or understand what I say when I tell you that the N64 is basically the system of my entire childhood. Also, I alluded to this a little bit in the Game Boy or the handheld episode, but this is the system that got me motivated socially. It made me a lot of friends because this was the one where I was like, hey, I have a Nintendo, and all my friends at school would be like, do you have this game? Do you have that game? And of course I did. So everybody would come over and check it out. And when it comes to collecting in general, one of the major components about collecting systems is the memories or the sentimental values that you can attach to things, and the Nintendo 64 is just chock full of some of my best and favorite memories in all of gaming, with my best friend crowded around our little box TV playing Pokemon Stadium, and other friends crowded around to play NFL Blitz or Super Smash Bros. Or whatever. There's just so many of my best and favorite gaming memories that surround this system in particular. So the first reason, of course, is for very, very sentimental reasons. The second reason this episode is so special to me is because this is the very first retro console that I decided to collect. And if you've watched my first two collection videos, not of this series, but the ones that I did a couple years ago or whatever, I told you that my cousin actually heard about my want to start collecting retro systems. And he had talked it over with his wife at the time, and he got a hold of me, or he pulled me aside and said, we have something we would like to give you. I have a Nintendo 64 that I'm not using, with a couple games, couple controllers, everything you're gonna need. And we would really like to help you out and motivate you and start your collection, because we believe in that. We believe in your hobby, we believe in your passion, we believe in you, and we would just like to have that to give you. And that was very, very special for me because I don't think I've had anybody tell me that. When it comes to video games, I'm so used to hearing my family or other adults in my life tell me that video games are stupid, video games are a waste of time. So to have a family member step forward after hearing me just talk, just in passing, about what I was hoping to do as a hobby with collecting systems, just to have them step up and offer to help me, to motivate me, to get me started, is really something special. So every time I open my Nintendo 64, every time I look at these games, I'm reminded of my cousin and his wife. If either of you guys watch this right now, again, I can't thank you enough. I know I thanked you plenty in the last video I brought this up, but I just have to say thank you so much. And you know what? Even if my best friend is watching this, I hope he is, because he's gonna, he knows exactly the memories that I was talking about. We still talk about them to this day, and I really hope he's watching this and enjoys this, just like the rest of you. But as you can see, I mean, I have wasted little time in collecting for the N64, and believe me, I'm nowhere near done. But regardless, let's just, make a dent in this and start. I'll start with the bigger of the two totes here. Starting us off, fitting, the game that was an obsession for me and the best friend I just spoke about, Pokemon Stadium. After that, we have WWF Warzone. Now, this is a trend that you're going to see from here moving forward. I am a very big wrestling fan, and I think a lot of the games that you're going to see from this point on are going to reflect that. So, you're going to see a lot of wrestling games throughout the remainder of my collection. But here's Warzone. Next, we have Madden 2001. After that, we have WWF WrestleMania 2000. Next, we have WWF No Mercy. I told you there was going to be quite a few. After that, we have 007, The World Is Not Enough. This is not GoldenEye, this is the other one. I don't know if it's lesser known or lesser appreciated. I don't actually have GoldenEye, but I did end up with this one. Next, we have Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. Now, I have never played this. I've heard it's pretty good from a couple of my friends that did. I've been told that they've played it all the time and they really enjoyed it. And if you're one of those people, let me know what you think. Following that, we have NASCAR 2000. I remember playing this game a lot as a young, stupid kid that really didn't know how to play games. And I just remember driving around in the first-person view, smashing into walls, smashing into cars. I wasn't very good, but there is that memory. After that, we have a game that is very, very close to my heart. Hydro Thunder. Again, if you followed the channel for long enough, you know that my grandpa and I played this in the arcade all the time. We got the N64 version, and we played it till the cows came home, essentially. And when I started collecting, I knew that this was a game that I had to have again, and when I bought it, I actually surprised him with it. I didn't tell him about it until it came in the mail, and then I opened up the package, put it on the table, and challenged him to Hydro Thunder. And, we play it every once in a while when we're both not busy, and we still laugh and have a great time with it. So, there's Hydro Thunder. After that, we have Madden 2000. Next, we have Castlevania 64. Big Castlevania guy, never owned this as a kid. Glad to have it in my collection. After that, we have, not gonna try and pronounce this, but it's a golf game. You golf fans, if you're watching this, are probably gonna crucify me in the comments, but that's okay. I'll live. Next, we have Diddy Kong Racing. After that, we have Nightmare Creatures. Next, we have Shadow Man. And Madden 99. So I have 3 years of Madden right in a row. And of course, Pokemon Stadium 2. Now, I never actually owned this one. This was the Pokemon Stadium that my best friend, who I've talked about lots in this video, had. I had the first one, he had the second one. So I was really excited to actually have this one in my collection for the first time ever. After that, we have Madden 64. I guess I had more Madden for the N64 than I thought I did. And finishing off this tote, we have Super Smash Bros. Now I know what you're thinking. This cart looks a little bit rough. And it is rough because it was mistreated, it was misplaced. My girlfriend found it in her dad's garage, I believe, and gave it to me. It does work, just not very well. So it is kind of my mission at this point to rebuy this game in better condition. But for what it's worth, I'm glad to have it. For the time being, until I get a better placeholder for Super Smash Bros. But like I said, it does work, and it works fine, definitely, until I get a copy that is in better condition. Moving on to the second tote. Oh, there they all go. I knew that was going to happen, just like dominoes. I'll pick them up later. Don't worry about it. We have Donkey Kong 64. Now, this game is not actually mine. I'm borrowing it from my girlfriend's mom to play it, and haven't given it back yet. But shh, don't tell anybody. Next, we have Mortal Kombat 4. After that, we have NFL Blitz. like I've talked about so many Sunday afternoons after church playing this with my friends. Can't have an N64 without Super Mario 64. Now this is a relatively new copy. I just bought this one not too long ago. My girlfriend had a copy that was in the similar state to the Smash Bros. Cartridge that you just saw. That didn't work very well, so I rebought it. Following that, we have Turok. And Turok 2. I don't have the third one yet because that one was just more money than I was willing to spend, but I figured a good place to start was at least the first two. And I'll always have the chance to get the third one later. After that, we have Wave Race 64. Love this game. Played it recently. It's still as beautiful as it ever was. And still a lot of fun to play. And finishing off my N64 collection for the time being is Mickey's Speedway USA. Now, I had this game this was my alternative as a kid to having Mario Kart. I never actually owned Mario Kart 64, but I did end up buying this. It's a lot of fun. If you're into Disney, it's basically the exact same thing as Mario Kart. Somebody's probably going to crucify me for saying that, but you know, it's the same idea with Disney characters. And the reason why this game stuck out to me so much is because it's one of the few games that I actually bought at Toys R Us as a child. We don't have a Toys R Us around here, but when we traveled to a place that did, it was one of the few times that I bought anything from there. So there's Mickey Speedway USA. And like I just said, that's basically the end of my collection. It's kind of scattered all over the place. Some are on the floor, some are all over here. But that'll about do it. Let's see here. What was I gonna tell you? Oh yeah, like I said, if my cousin who started this is watching, thank you again. If my best friend is watching, shout outs to him. How many memories do we have scattered across my bed and my floor right now, my friend? It's crazy, isn't it? It doesn't seem all that long ago that we were kids playing some of these games and being captivated by them. And you know what? Leave me a comment and tell me what Nintendo 64 games you played. And just, whether you played them by yourself and created memories or played them with your friends. I've noticed that's kind of the theme of this video, is just friendship and memories and sentimental values. So tell me what games on the N64 you hold dear to your heart. And yeah, we'll see you for, let's see, part 6, I believe. So until next time, guys, as always, I salute you, and remember, we're all mad here.